Welcome to the Urban Wall Street Project. I'm your host, Earl Christian III, of course. Today I have an incredible show with a brother of mine who's been doing some amazing things. He's a software developer and a technology connoisseur. Without further ado, my brother, Mr. Jason J. Nasdaq Swinestein. What's good, brother?
How you doing, brother? How's everything going?
Everything is good. So first things first, man, I got to congratulate you on the company. Let them know what it is.
The company is Ovnio. It stands for Open Vision Networks International Online, and we are a cable company that creates front-end software applications and solutions applications for the international demographic. We're really excited because we just did a soft launch a month ago. We're in 105 countries. We have 180,000 subscribers that physically look at our Ovnio platform as an alternative for cable.
Okay. Now that's a beautiful thing. Now in this market right now, in this whole industry, everything is about technology. Right. It's about software. Social media is changing the game for so many companies. And what made you come up with this concept? Now we're going to talk about some things because I know in this game it's real serious. And a lot of times you're going to learn about intellectual property because you got to be real mindful with your ideas because people can can jerk you and can rob you. But we ain't going to talk about that right now because my man's doing some amazing things. But let's talk about the whole OVN. I.O. I love it. Let's talk about it.
Well, Ovnio, basically, the idea came up because I've been in software development since 1993, creating platforms and doing animation and video game programming. I got an internship at a multimedia company called Advanced Multimedia Systems back in 1993, and a big shout out to Hayes Stample, who's my broadcast technology mentor. He basically pulled me in and he said, you know what, because you have an understanding of technology and trigonometry, I think that you need to learn some of the various different aspects of software development back in '93, before there was a thing called apps. And I'm a kid from Harlem, so I said, okay, no problem. I would go down, and this is, keep in mind, here's a hip hop reference. This is when Dr. Dre came out with the Chronic. So I was eating Cheez-Its and drinking Coca-Cola, studying various different Unix platforms, and my mentor was just saying, you know what, this is where you need to be. With that being said, a couple of years later, I jumped into the music industry because technology at that time wasn't really, the doors weren't open for minorities. So I got into the music industry, helping various different record labels do digital strategy for various different record labels executives that didn't really know how to sell records online because of the whole Napster boom. And so with that whole boom happening, and we're talking about the late 90s, I was able to make a name for myself. Cut to a couple of years later, I just got a call from somebody that wanted me to get into film and television. I was like, you know what, this may be a turning point for my life. So I got into it, and I teamed up with a talent agent, and next thing you know, I'm physically in film and television. We're talking about 2003. So I'm giving you chronologically where the whole Ovnio idea literally came about. And by me having relationships with people in the Hollywood industry, because I had a talent agent that was my mentor, big shout out to Stanley Kaplan, a lot of people started coming to me and say, you know what, we love our independent films, and we know that you're creating these strong relationships in Hollywood. Can you get our films to be distributed from the Hollywood studios? And I said, you know what, and this, keep in mind, guys, this is when MySpace was big. Instagram wasn't even alive. YouTube was starting to get some real big popularity domestically and internationally. So I said, okay, well, let me help you promote your stuff through MySpace Film. MySpace at the time had a film section on their website where a lot of independent filmmakers were promoting their films. So I said to myself, you know what, I think I could create a piece of software that literally can market your film to the Hollywood studio companies that I have relationships with. This particular platform will be a platform that you could physically track your analytics, because that's what they needed. They needed the numbers, powers and numbers. And so it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was in a recluse place, and I said, you know what, let me just start building out. And that's when I started talking to a couple of my friends who were engineers, and we just basically started having a lot of in-depth conversations, cracking various different codes of streaming media websites like Hulu, as well as BitTorrent sites where we download illegal movies and stuff like that. But the point is that everybody wanted content. Everybody wanted another way of watching television content on different devices. And so with that being said, I just came up with the whole Ovnio experience. But more importantly, I came up with an experience that can mimic the cable experience on different devices. Now people do what is called second screening. You watch TV and you have your mobile device or your tablet in your hand, right? Well, that's called second screening. People eyeballs are being redirected to devices. So I said, if I can basically capture that experience of watching a cable experience offline, online, then I think I got a core business model.
That's a beautiful thing. Now, we're about to really talk into it.
Long-winded, sorry.
Yeah, I love it. No, it's a beautiful thing because now we're going to talk about it. You know, we got a little history about who you are and,
Yes, sir.
and you know, what got you into this game. So, you know, we're going to take a break and then we're going to come back and we're really going to talk about, and what it's about and really let the people know the magnitude and how it's going to revolutionize the whole cable social media experience. Because when I look at it and I check it out, I think it's incredible. You know, you can shop, you can buy, so people really don't understand it. So we're really going to talk about that. So keep watching Urban Wall Street. Jay Nasdaq, Jay Swanston. It's a beautiful situation. We'll be right back.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Jose and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
Welcome back to the Urban Wall Street Project. I'm here with my brother Jay Nasdaq, technology connoisseur, software developer. He got something really special we talked about. But real quickly, he's just going to talk about who he is real quickly before we get into Ovnio.
Thank you once again, Earl. I'm a kid from Harlem. You know, my parents, my whole family unit were very strict when it came to education. So I was sheltered for the duration of my adolescence. I entered a technology program at NYU at the age of 13 and entered Columbia University at the age of 15 with the whole vision of being a biologist. And you know how it goes. You know, when you're young, you don't know what you want to do. So I fell in love with the whole creation aspect of my mind, and next thing you know, I started creating video game platforms because my friends in my hood, they were like, you know what, I wish I could figure out how to make the next Ryu or Street Fighter 2 or Tekken, and I was blessed to get an internship, and next thing you know, I'm creating platforms. So Jay Nasdaq technically is a Renaissance man.
Beautiful thing. So now we flash forward, it's 2014.
Right.
We got Ovnio. It's about to do some big things. So let us know, because I don't think they understand. So let them know what the acronym stands for, Jay.
Okay. Well, Ovnio stands for Open Vision Networks International Online. And what Ovnio basically is a cable TV social network that allows people to subscribe just like they would to their Time Warner or Comcast type of experience, and a subscription rather, and basically have the ability to socialize or get on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or 38 other social networks that are popular around the world, like Weibo, which is the Chinese Twitter, and physically microblog or tweet while they're watching, let's say, Scandal, you know, or their favorite feature film, or a niche channel like our tech channel on channel 77 on Ovnio, where you can get tech reviews 24/7. So what Ovnio basically does for people who really love watching television is have that cable feel in the palm of their hand, okay? Anywhere on earth with internet connection, Wi-Fi connection. But more importantly about Ovnio, the beautiful thing about my software is the mere fact that you can watch your favorite programming or your television show, like the Urban Wall Street Project, on one of the Ovnio channels, and not have the buffering you would have on a YouTube type of VOD platform or even Netflix. So with that being said, Ovnio gives you that particular experience, that easy to use ability. All you have to do is subscribe to Ovnio, OVNIO.TV, and it's a free subscription for now. And we're gonna basically release it hardcore next year for the whole planet.
Now, what is it about Ovnio that you feel that the people gonna want this? Because you know, everything is a new product and we all want something new. That's the thing about this technological era. It's always about the next greatest thing, the next latest thing. What is it that made you say, you know what, this platform that I'm gonna create, it's going to be what people want? Because
everybody wants to do 3 and 4 things under one particular web window. Everyone is tired of physically clicking on a banner and then being sent to a whole new experience. And then on second hand, everybody is really tired of relearning something because they want to get entertainment. So with Ovnio is a very, very distinct and specific solution to getting the entertainment you want. Whereas with Ovnio, when you go to the actual site itself, the transparent red remote control, which is a self-explanatory symbol for the planet, is physically centered in the middle, and then all you have to do, whether you don't know how to speak English or you just basically know how to use remote control, is physically turn the channels by clicking the right and left arrow key on the remote control. It's that simple. But more importantly, I feel why people will really love Ovnio as opposed to relying on Amazon Fire, Netflix, and Hulu, is because we at Ovnio give you the cable experience where you don't have to search. It's right there. TV guide, it's right there. You get content pushed to you 24/7, and that's one of the main reasons why we know at Ovnio, Cablevision, Time Warner Cable, and all those cable companies around different countries will never die because they push content to you. So with that being said, Ovnio gives you that plus interactive capabilities where you can physically click on the commercial, okay, when it comes to commercial, and buy the product directly from the actual advertiser that's advertising during a segment of Urban Wall Street project, okay? And then on top of that, when we can stream this particular show and everyone out there that's watching us in internet land in 105 countries can literally click on your vest, Earl, and physically buy it directly from the person who tailored it. So Ovnio is a front-end solutions to what everybody we feel would want and need.
Now, listening to the magnitude of what it is and what it can do, it would seem like in this world of giants, people would be trying to buy you out, throwing you all types of money. So, but I know the fact ownership is always key. And every time somebody's trying to grab what you have and they're throwing you money with a smile, that really means you probably have something greater than what you realize. So, are people trying to buy you out, and how are you handling that?
Well, that's a great question, and I'd like to say thank you to everybody who at least gave us 5 minutes to 2 hours of their time, from all the venture capitalists to all the angel investors to all the institutional investment firms out there in Silicon Valley, as well as the international investment market. How we handle it, and what I mean by we, because my dad is my business partner, I'm keeping it in the family. How we basically handle it is we are keeping at least 51% equity control in our outfit, due to the fact that we have a vision with the whole Ovnio architecture and where we want to go with it, as opposed to taking $500 million of investment capital and having 86% equity owned by somebody that doesn't look like me, that doesn't have the vision that I have. And one thing Mark Zuckerberg over at Facebook said, he said, never sell. And I took that to heart, because that's not what Ovnio is about. Ovnio is a creative institution that wants to breed solutions, and that wants to breed a different type of way of looking at entertainment.
Now, you said something very important about equity. A lot of times I watch Shark Tank and different shows, and people always want to invest for a percent of your equity. Why is it so important that when you have an idea or you have an intellectual property that can be very valuable, why is it important to maintain as much of your equity or not sell it off, Jay?
Well, it's fairly simple, Earl, because you want to have the control of the brand. The brand marketing strategy first and foremost. Just like Steve Jobs did, just like Mark Zuckerberg, you want to physically have the ability to say, I know where I want the direction of the business to go, I know how I want to market it, and if I don't have the control in terms of the voting rights, then I can't make these particular decisions for the growth and the perseverance of the morality of the brand and the company and the people within it. So we're very, very sensitive to that particular aspect of our business by way of figuring out and knowing which way we want to go for the future in terms of internet cable.
Nice. So now when people say, okay, do I have to change for my subscriber? I've been with Optimum, or I've been with Cablevision, or any other Time Warner. Do I have to change my subscription or cancel that to be on Ovnio?
Well, no. The great thing about it is you don't, because Ovnio just gives you a different slew of channels that are niche driven. So if you want to see nothing but kung fu content 24/7, you come to Ovnio. If you want to see nothing but tech content 24/7 in the same format as, you know, you would watch a ABC channel here in North America, then come to Ovnio. So you don't have to give up your Optimum or your Comcast subscription. In fact, keep it, you know, just do what we call cord shave and just get a basic service for Comcast and Cablevision just so you can have the internet connection and subscribe to Ovnio for $24.99 for 500 channels that's customizable.
Now, I like that you say customizable, and you don't have to give up your particular subscription, but with the advent of all of these smart TVs,
right,
where you pretty much can watch YouTube or the Hulu or the Netflix from your TV, or you can, if you're really savvy, you can run your laptop through your monitor, and now you're watching it on a big screen. Nice. So with those opportunities and options, you really can downsize that huge cable bill, customize it, and pretty much get the same thing, because there's nothing that comes on television that you cannot find on the internet right now. I don't care what the show is. So in all actuality, as these softwares and these technologies develop, cable companies really don't like you.
Well, I don't think that it's not, they don't really see us as, I feel they don't see us as a threat, because we're not even a fly in a bull's butt, honestly. I think that cable companies in North America, they see people like us that are creating what is called disruptive technology, and due to the fact that they know we don't have the deep pockets, the billions of dollars to get the licensing rights from content providers over at HBO or some of the Hollywood studios, they don't see us as a threat within the next 20 years. But I do guarantee within the next 10 to 15 years, or you know, probably within the next 5 years, because of the way Ovnio is growing, that we will not necessarily put a dent in the cable industry, but we'll be a 4,000-pound gorilla to be looked at, because the difference between Hulu and Netflix and all of those subscription video on demand type of websites is we give you that cable feel with interactivity all rolled in one, where you don't have to go anywhere. You can Skype while you watch a channel on Ovnio, as well as you can check your bank account and order flight tickets all under one web window without ever going to another website. Everything is literally encased in the Ovnio wall garden, and that's what our competitive distinction is from Hulu, Netflix, and what, even if Comcast is on internet. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
We're not quarantined in China like YouTube is. That's tasty, right? Okay. Netflix is trying to penetrate the French and the Scandinavian markets. We're not quarantined in France and Scandinavia countries, excuse me. So with Ovnio is literally the first of its kind. It's the first global cable television platform that is accepted in 196 countries, to be exact, with minimum to no buffering.
Ooh, that is so serious. Man, listen, we're going to talk to my man Jay. We're going to wrap it up, because the one thing about ideas like this brother has, and like you may have at home, they're incredibly valuable. Whether there's $1 attached to it already, they're incredibly valuable. So we're going to share why that intellectual property is important, and he's going to share an experience with his that he learned from, and we'll never make that same mistake again. But keep watching Urban Wall Street. My brother Jay Nasdaq. We'll be right back.
I grew up in the housing projects of Cleveland. I didn't even know that life could be any better than it was. Education for me has been a way to get away from the agony of what was normal life. I want to be able to impact the community, not just look back on where I came from, but to reach back to where I came from and pull some people up with me. My name is David, and I am your dividend.
Have you been learning some things? Are you feeling Ovnio? Are you feeling it? You gotta be, because it's an amazing situation. I'm still here with my brother Jay Nasdaq. We're gonna wrap it up soon. We're down here in Brooklyn, in case you don't know, the Promenade. It's a beautiful situation. New York City, you gotta love it. But to continue talking, so Jay.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times I talk to the people about intellectual property.
Okay.
About protecting your brand, protecting your ideas, being mindful of who you work with. And unfortunately, early on, you shared your great ideas with some individuals.
That's right.
And they happened to be guests on my show. They actually came on the show. It was OVN Network. Was it OVN TV?
Yeah.
OVN TV. They came about 5 years ago. You may have seen it. And while it was a great show and I enjoyed it, I'm a little disgruntled to learn that they cut out the person who created it.
addition to having access to a similar experience to linear television, you also have access to things. Many of the programs that you'll find on your garden run-of-the-mill television stations like YouTube, MySpace, the web properties, but then also your linear television properties like Comcast and Time Warner and so forth.
With OpenVision Networks, you can purchase a channel or a group of channels, and you become your own producer and also network executive.
We want to talk about why it's really important and how you can learn from these things. So Jay, let's talk about it. So now we're in 2014. We went through that bad experience. You looked out for individuals and they try to, take it as their own. But what doesn't come out in the wash is going to come out in the rinse, and God protects those. So clearly they weren't meant to have the success they wanted or thought because it wasn't theirs. Let's talk about why it's so important to maintain your intellectual property, know what that is, and be mindful who you work with.
Well, it's important, Earl, to maintain the intellectual property because that's all you have in this particular industry when we're talking about technology to hold on to. It's important to seek out the right legal team to protect you. It's also important to know the types of people that you work with and really understand their true intentions. I'm getting emotional because obviously it's an emotional subject, but it's important to know the people that you're really confiding in your intellectual properties to and with from a creative standpoint, because everyone has creativity in their heart, but in this day and age, when you want to make money off of it, you must protect it from a standpoint of finding the right people to protect it, and those people are the right IP attorney, in this particular instance. Those particular individuals who I thought were my friends, who I confided in, and I supported them financially as well as creatively. I just want to say, I thank them because I really learned a lot. I learned how to move now in a room full of wolves because we're in Brooklyn. Big shout out to Hove, but more importantly, the key is to understand what your value is to the world when you create something from your brain. So everyone out there that's creating, drawing, creating intellectual property, has an app idea, before you go and run off to pay someone to do it or to develop it yourself, put it on paper and figure out how to protect it first, because you can spend another 5 years like I did. I had to restart the whole Ovnio mission in 2009 when I developed it in 2006, okay? And relearn. So that's basically it in a nutshell. And I thank you, Earl, for allowing me to express this.
Of course. Now, in case you're sitting there and you say, well, what makes him the expert on this Ovnio and the cable and television? Real quickly, let him know your resume.
Okay.
He's a humble gentleman, but don't get it twisted. Let him know the Hollywood resume.
Well, for the last 12 years, I've been a talent manager in Hollywood. I took that particular position because I wanted to understand the scarcity that the Hollywood industry was in terms of having their content pirated around the internet, literally around the world. And so what I did was I kind of went in like a secret agent, just trying to ask these questions. By me being a talent manager, it allowed me to have these in-depth conversations with producers and film directors. So by me having that particular link and having the broadcast technology professionalism since 1993 up to when I entered Hollywood, I was able to create the Ovnio platform. Now, in terms of the actual skill sets, I am a software developer. I've been creating video game platforms since 1994. I had a bunch of deals on the table with Activision and Konami, and I have a pending situation. I'm in talks with a couple of people over in France. Hint, Ubisoft. Big shout out to my man from Harlem that got me that phone call. And I really like the way things are changing in terms of the way software is being developed for people with mobile devices, because it's allowing people like myself who didn't have the outlets back then to now get my SHI you-know-what off. Thank you.
Listen, Jay Nazak, I want to thank you for coming on the show. As always, my people, we want to bring you the brightest, the best, the people that can help shape your lives, shape your ambitions and dreams. So continue watching Urban Wall Street. Check out my man Jay Nazak. Check out Ovnio.tv.
That's right, not .com, Ovnio.tv, OVNIO.tv. Can I give a shout out real quick? I want to give a shout out. I really want to give a shout out to all of our ancestors that literally died to just read. I was taught to read everything. And so when I entered college at the tender age of 15, I read every single thing that was not glued down. I literally, if you're watching and you're in the age of 15 to 17, the age of a millennial, okay, read every single thing. Just don't Google it, read it and understand, comprehend and digest everything. If you don't understand what a word means, have a dictionary handy next to you or on another web page and look up every single word until you understand it. I literally went to Barnes & Noble's before there was a Google in 1994 to Barnes & Noble's for a whole year straight to study how to create and write video game platforms. And that's what the message I want to give to all the young people that are looking at Jay Nasdaq, Earl, Urban Wall Street, and looking at us as accomplished individuals that did it our way, hat to the side, writing technology, doing programs, educational content for people like yourself. It took a lot of discipline, and it took studying, and it took comprehending contracts. It took understanding what you need to do in order to survive and maintain your integrity and protect your intellectual property. And that's really what I want to say. And big shout out to my mother, big shout out to my father, my partner, and big shout out to every single person that represented this particular brand, Ovnio.tv. And big shout out to Urban Wall Street.
That's what's up. Like I said, keep watching Urban Wall Street, UHETV, UHETV Kids, Ovnio TV. It's a beautiful situation. You already know, the brightest and the best.
Big shout out to my baby mamas. No, I'm just kidding.
We about to be out of here. I gotta love y'all. Urban Wall Street, keep watching. We love you. Nothing but the brightest and the best. Till next time, peace.
Peace.